following is a 24 Hours podcast.
My name was and will be, and is today, Kenny Colman. Kenny with a K, C with a C, and an N and an A and a Y. Anyway, I'm Kenny Colman. Hi, everybody. And Mr. Sinatra, Frank Sinatra, was very kind to me in my career and arranged for me to travel with him on his 50th year in show business at the ballets in Reno and ballets in Atlantic City. And he used to come in every night to hear me, and I showed him how to do it. I'm only kidding, Frank. A few years later, in 1976, I was singing at Dominic's in Palm Springs, just filling in for somebody. When I walked in, I saw Frank Sinatra, Leo DeRocher, Pat Henry, Jimmy Van Heusen, and I said to the owner, Dominic, I don't want to get on. And Frank said, I don't want to bother them. I was scared out of my pants, and nervous. Didn't rehearse, just sitting in for somebody. And I started to sing, and Frank started to, he had his back to me. He didn't want to intimidate me in any way. And he turned around and started talking to me. Who wrote that song, Kenny? Who did that? I talked to him back and forth. And after that session, they invited me to the table. He asked me what I was doing with my life. I said, going through a divorce, and it's hard with the rock and roll, the top 40 music is prevailing. It's hard to get a gig being a jazz crooner. He said, Jilly will call you in a couple of weeks, and he did. And 2 weeks later, I was at Caesar's Palace, having dinner with Frank in between shows at Caesar's Palace. And that was a very touching moment, having met Sinatra, having dinner with him. And from that point on, he touched my career in many, many ways. Frank heard me the first night. He beckoned me to come to the table, and he said to me, Kenny, it's answering your question. He said, Kenny, you know, you and I are like a fraternity. We're like, you and Tony Bennett and myself, we're like the last of the saloon singers. And I always like you and Tony because you don't try to sound like me. So when anybody tries to sound like Frank, I shudder because nobody's ever going to be as good or be, you can only be yourself. And I think I found my own style and phrasing. The texture is different. And your lifestyles and your life dues make you sing differently. You're feeling and you interpret the feelings of what you live. How's that? I'll sing the song many times over, but never the same way twice. It's a creative adventure. Take a ride with the melody. You have to have a backup plan because not everybody makes it. It's a hard life. You have to really love it and be committed to it in spite of all odds and surroundings. And be prepared to have your landlady say you're a great singer, but if you don't pay your rent by Tuesday, you're out, you know, because that's the reality of the business. It's a hard business. It's not show, it's biz. Keep swinging, and if you're a singer and you want to sing out there, Sinatra once said to me when I first met him, when he didn't really talk to me that well, he'd wink and say, keep singing, keep singing. And I did, and 9 years later, he did many, many wonderful things for me. So I can tell you, keep singing and keep swinging. I'm happy to be here.
Vancouver.24hours.ca